heard Rick kept you all up last night, huh? Is that true? Yeah, he is a big fighter. I hear he's already up and hanging out and ready to go again, so.
He's got his fans.
The smallest fan.
I had to get dressed up today. My wife sent these clothes for me. It was like, here, look respectable. And when your pregnant wife tells you to do something.
The best thing is cut to us in the car on the way here, and he's like, which shirt? I don't know. And I'm like, go with that one. It's probably going to show less if you sweat. And then he's like, okay, but can you tie my tie? So there I am, like tying his tie in the back seat. All right, there you go. I know. See, we look after each other all the time.
I know, I actually, true story, I never learned to tie a tie. And so by now I refuse to tie a tie.
But he actually takes pride in it because
I do, yeah.
It was
what it was my
father.
Yeah, my old man's gonna watch this and he's gonna remember. But when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I'd always have to, my dad would come in his dress shirt, but as it come. So he'd come in his dress shirt and then his super starched neck and he'd tie his tie. And I always had to go in and do this with the collar. And I always just seem to remember, like, that was such a routine for him for so long. And I kind of remember, and I don't know, I kind of remember looking at his face, and he probably just didn't want to go off to work and leave the kids. But it kind of didn't seem good. I just put a tie on, it kind of seemed like, all right. So he wore a tie every day.
Begrudgingly, obviously.
Yeah, begrudgingly, I guess. And so I thought to myself, if I could go my whole life without ever having to tie a tie for somebody, or no one tell me what to do, so now I can tie his ties for him. So now Jensen does it for me in like this little collar.
But well, because my situation was the complete opposite. Because my father's an actor, so whenever he tied a tie, he was doing it for like an audition or a role or something. So it was like part of his costume, and that was intriguing to me. And I was so, Dad, you got to teach me how to tie a tie. So he taught me at a very young age how to do it himself.
Yeah. So now
I think that and shaving were about the same time.
I never had that problem until like season 3 of Supernatural. It's like, what's going on, guys? My voice is changing. And then the hair changed. And here I stand before you today, change man. How y'all liking the show so far? We saw a lot of you guys in Chicago, but now we've had 2 new episodes and a little secret scene. With the stretching, did everybody see the scene? These guys are rock. He and Jim Beaver, they're the most difficult guys to break. You have to do just about everything. And still it doesn't work. So I don't know what to do. Which one?
The Rockliers are pretty good.
Oh yeah.
That was another Phil Segrista special.
Well, you did it on your coverage. For those who haven't seen it, there's an outtake scene where Jared decided to really get into exercise.
Richard Simmons style special.
And Phil liked it so much that he made us do it again on the reverse when we came around and shot. I think it was my coverage.
Yeah.
Second. It was fun. So of course he's going to take that and run with it.
Yeah. And some, I know I tweeted it and it got taken away because, and funny enough, is Phil called us. He's like, hey guys, I have to prove this with y'all guys. We're like, what? And so we watch, we're like, yeah, it's funny, man, send it. And so he's like, okay, cool, we got to go through legal and make sure it's all okay. And I mistook it as it was already approved, and so I kind of sent it out without being What's that thing? Better to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission? So I found myself going, and they were like, listen, it's fine. It was going to get approved anyways. They just hadn't get signed off on it. But since you tweeted it, but now it's on YouTube. So I think the link on the Twitter. I'm still learning. And then I was so proud of myself yesterday. I was walking around Chicago and I saw that big Marilyn Monroe thing. And so I took a picture of it and I was like, I'm gonna be funny. And so I wondered who knew Norma was so tall. But instead, I just kind of this morning, I wrote, who Norma so tall? I haven't yet mastered the proofreading thing yet. Norma Jean Baker and so, who Norma is so, really unsend, or if you can't, can you unsend? Can I go back and change it? Come on, guys, help me out.
I don't have these problems, Jared. I don't have these problems.
That's true. That's true. What else? What happened Friday? I didn't see the episode. I was here with the band.
The witches.
It was a
Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome.
It was.
They're rad, huh? We want them back. It's so nice also, we've talked about this before, but to have people come in that are not just seasoned actors, but seasoned actors in the genre.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like Jewel and Charisma and James.
Right.
I mean, the list goes on and on, but they know how to suspend belief and kind
Well,
of.
they get this genre, and it's some, you know, it would be an adjustment for a comedy actor to come in and do this.
Right, right.
You know, or any kind of, you know, it's just there's a very specific kind of cadence to what we do, and it's nice to have people come in who are just extremely comfortable with that style. It was cool. Yeah, they were a lot of fun.
We had a few, especially season one, we had a few guest stars, I won't name. They were like, I'm saying really weird things. And we're like, you read the episode, right? Like, you know what the show's about. Like, it sounds stupid. Like, why would I even think this was this? Why are we talking about vampires? Like, who is? I wouldn't believe you guys. And we're like, oh God. We're acting, like, but that's sort of the idea of the show. And this is well before the show had even aired. I think probably the first 6 or 7 episodes, we had a few guest stars on for 4 episodes.
What was it, that old story that Laurence Olivier said to Dustin Hoffman after Marathon Man or something like that? And he was like, method acting. And Olivier was like, you know, you don't have to be the character. It's called acting. It's much easier. It's acting, my dear boy. Acting, my dear boy. Try it. It's much easier.
Well, now that we have y'all's wrap, quick question. Is anybody here from St. Louis? Y'all can walk up.
You guys can.
There- If an oxygen mask drops, you're not allowed to have one, nor are you.
And no one can help them with theirs.
I grew up the World Series to come see you.
You blew up the World Series?
I wish you would have just blown up all the pool holes.
That's my cousin.
I was like the
I took the handshake
but I would
Well, strong word.
Just kidding.
They really handed it to us last night. So
I know. No, thank you. He really. Yeah, that was a difficult watch last night.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Kick us when we're down.
You know, and here's a little fun fact for you. Today, a little FF, the Rangers are playing the Cardinals in Texas. And then right across the parking lot, the Cowboys will be playing the St. Louis Rams. I wonder what the odds of that are ever happening again.
2 Dallas.
That's going to be a packed parking lot.
Yeah, that freeway is going to be.
That freeway is going to be, yeah. I'm actually headed there tonight.
Just don't drive the freeway.
But I'm not. Yeah, after this, I'm going to Dallas.
Well, now that you'll have our attention, we'll just jabber on. Somebody yell something. Right? Yes, perfect. Hey,
Congratulations on.
thank you.
And
Wait, what? Wait.
on the happy event.
Thank you.
My question is,
Yes, I'm terrified.
We all are.
my question, Hollywood really has a new idea, and they love to retread things. And your
What?
And your fans would not be very friendly to a retread of Supernatural unless they did some stunt casting of using your children. Why?
Jensen, you guys hearing any of this? Good. She's saying that Hollywood does a lot of remakes, and obviously the Supernatural fandom wouldn't be happy if they tried to remake Supernatural, and this less used our kids. And so my comment, of course, was, Jensen better hope he has a daughter.
Yeah, to man the character of Sam up.
What's that? We are, we have it.
So was there a question in there, or was that just all hypotheticals?
Yes, your advice to your children should they take over your role.
Don't do it.
Film,
Wait till season 4 and play the angel. He gets like tons of time off. He's traveling all over the place.
film closer to home.
Yeah. Or home. That'd be difficult. I guess what comes to mind is, don't worry, when you die, they'll bring you back. So, don't be scared to hold that thing. And the supernatural ointment that we use also works really well, so don't be scared of like demon scratches and missing limbs. Just rub a little CW ointment on.
Unless you actually do stuff like rip your hand open from the gun.
That's right. You just did it again, right? You shut up.
I just did it again. The first one was the Colt I had in Frontierland. When I did the showdown there. Well, I actually had to fan the hammer, and that is not a very well-made gun because we had it made for the show. So it's not like some highly engineered. It's just a piece of metal that they made to look like a gun, and it's really hard and difficult to use. And to actually fan that, I ripped open my palm on the first take, and just blood. And I just kind of held the flap of skin.
Something about flap of skin.
While I waited for Guy B to make the decision on whether or not we needed to go again, and of course we did need to go again, and I'm like, wow, this is really going to hurt the second time. So they put like they slapped some moleskin, which is, I don't know if you know what that is. I don't really know what it is either. And I did it again, and of course it just cut deeper. In my I have a nice little scar there for it, but, and then the other day we had to, what was the scene? It was, we were dealing with a monster that we thought was dead. Was not. So
Like I said, don't worry,
it was a quick draw by all three, Bobby, Sam, and Dean, and it was a bit Reservoir Dog-esque where we just boom, 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 put it down. Well, Jared and I both did a quick chamber of our pistols.
Sam and Dean did.
Sam and Dean. And I didn't get it properly in the sight, the little metal sight that sticks up on the back of the gun, just ripped my callus right off of my finger. And it was instant blood all over.
And then Dr. Sexy.
He wasn't part of that.
Then there was another, I keep on trying to get Jen, there was another, we then dissect the body, and we had this really itchy, gooey, nasty stuff, and our character was wearing gloves, but for his close-up, we didn't need gloves, we didn't need to do anything, and so we're just mimicking like we're dissecting the body as we do in Supernatural. And there's really nasty stuff that's been in there for the close-ups of it and stuff like that. And so I'm getting the tongs, and I'm touching him to his hand and stuff, because he's having to pretend to get stuff, and I'm like, all over his hand. He was like, you asshole! As soon as we cut though, once again, I can't break the guy.
No, he's a rock.
He is. Well, what do you have to do? Yes. Hi.
Hi. Amy told us yesterday to ask you about the awkward family trip scene with she and Matt in the front seat and you two in the back seat, and you talking to Genevieve on the phone about cleaning anal gland.
That was out of left field. That was one of those like, look at my hand, look at my hand. Yes, I didn't mean her doing it, but does anybody have a small dog? Okay, does your small dog have issues with anal glands?
I think the answer to the question is that because we spend so much time on set, we have to deal with personal issues in front of everybody.
Well, you know when you see dogs?
Being one of them.
Yeah, this being one of them. When you see little dogs, they're kind of like doing the butt scoot thing. They're supposed to-
We have a nurse in the house. She raises her hand. certified.
I guess what that means that you have to get them clean. Yeah, there are often conversations that he'll have, that I'll have, or somebody will have when you're kind of sitting there and you overhear part of it and you're like, okay, that could be mistaken.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, but so she did. Yeah, we have to take the dog. Yeah.
I'm sure other people have stories about conversations that we've had on set that are probably completely inappropriate for a working environment.
I think
So,
we
just,
States. Y'all guys in the back, I know y'all had your hands up for a bit. What is
I
that?
talked to you at the concert,
Oh, yes.
the survival kit.
Yes.
It's not a
she's
gift,
a-
it's a survival kit.
I know. Clippy's gonna grab it from
Right behind you.
Okay.
He's right behind you. Yes, I didn't think you'd actually bring it. Thank you very much. So we got dressed up. I did good with dancing. That's like the conversation me and the tie is like Cliff and Pants.
It's true. It could be January in Vancouver on top of like Mount Seymour in 6 feet of snow. Cliff will be there in his shorts. Shorts and a t-shirt.
And really pissed off he has to wear pants. There was a situation last year actually. We went to a really nice restaurant here, just because we love food, and we went to a restaurant. And it was I guess you had to have a coat, like a dress coat. And I didn't really have one. I was like, I don't wear dress coats. Like, what are you talking about? So I wore a nice shirt or a sweater, whatever it was. And then we get there, and they're like, well, we can give you a jacket to borrow. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I guess they had, seriously, not even kidding. And so I was like, so they give me this jacket, and no kidding, the jacket comes up by like to roll up the sleeves, so I have this coat on that looks like it's made for kind of a hefty older gentleman, so it's really long, really wide, the arms are to here. And I was like, I guess what do? Roll them up to my elbow? Like, that's gonna look awkward, like here I'm in a suit coat with a jacket rolled up to my elbow, and they're like, okay, we're gonna take you to your seats. And I was like, wait, why doesn't Cliff have to wear a jacket? I go, well, we don't have any in his size. And I go, you don't have any in my size either. So then they're like, well, and so we follow them, and literally we walk 30 feet to a table, and I just take the jacket off. I was like, that was kind of. So we don't have one in the size.
Apparently that's the thing here. Like there was a restaurant that we were going to go to Friday night, and I canceled because it was a jacket required. And I'm like, I ain't going through that again. I didn't bring a blazer. So yeah, I don't know. In LA, it's a little like you can go to the fancy. You can go to Spago in jeans and flip-flops if you want. They're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
You're paying the money, we'll give you the food.
Sure. That'll make your enjoyment of food be better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry if somebody here has a motto about having to wear jackets.
I mean, the restaurants are great, yeah. Just make sure you wear
So
jacket.
I totally ignored you. So.
It's okay. I just wanted to say happy Polish Heritage Month to you.
Oh
You
my
are my Polish
Y'all voted. Thank you.
And then I got nixed on this question yesterday from Misha.
You got nixed?
Yeah, it totally got kiboshed.
Which means we'll probably. Sorry.
Misha had a baby last year. You're expecting this year with Genevieve.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where babies come from?
As soon as I find out March, I'll tell you. I really have no idea.
The store.
We've all seen Dumbo. Full comes and the ears flop, and they get out, they clean their butts. I'll tell you in March after I find out. February, January, whatever.
Hey, he's still trying to figure
As
that
soon as I
out.
figure it out, when I wake up,
Wait, you're what?
passed out.
You're doing what? We're having a.
How does that work?
How did that happen?
And then I was when finally, I had a lot of fun getting the information out. I wanted everybody to know first who was watching me as opposed to hearing someone else. And I was telling Jen that I was going to make a joke of it. I was like, we can't take ourselves too seriously. I was like, I'm going to tweet something like, I'm having a kid. According to Jen, it's a 25% chance that it's mine. She was like, it's funny, but tell your friends, but don't tweet it because like my mom reads your tweets. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, good idea. So we had to have fun another way. But I was like, who normal was so tall? So can't say, what I can. And then Misha crosses all boundaries. So I'm like, oh, I guess I can say whatever. But then again, he's wacky.
Did Misha tell you about West's little accident in my backyard? I'll let him tell you. What? That's not my problem. It's not my story to tell. It's nothing big. It's just a little funny story.
Misha.
He's got plenty of funny stories. I'm sure he'll use this one eventually. Yeah, there we go. You have a question here.
Also, to make things sweeter, ask him about the story of West in my backyard too. I think I told you. Ask him about how West enjoys Jensen and Jared's backyards.
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Hey. As a nurse practitioner and third-year medical student, I have
Yep, there's your nurse right there.
practitioner. Drugs, there's a difference.
Got it.
I have a question. I thought you guys had medics or whatever on set, or not medics, but people, physicians or whatever. So why didn't they just suture you real quick before you?
He treated it. Mike? We do. We have first aid on set.
Yeah, we have first aid. We have our craft service is also a registered nurse. And he's, so. It's true. He is. Yeah, we don't utilize him in Jared's problems, but you know,
in the States you have to have two different. You have to have first aid and craft service in Canadian and Canada. Where all the Canadians live. Anyways, in Canada, it's one union. It's called first aid craft service.
Okay.
So-
Nurses usually don't suture. So that's just been stuff.
Oh, I see.
It's usually nurse practitioners or PAs or physicians.
I see.
So I just.
We don't have a physician on set unless it's an emergency. But
we do have we'll have technical advisors and stuff for like the medical scenes who will, you know, they'll hook everybody's IV up and make sure all the monitors are running properly and stuff when we have hospital scenes. But as far as like taking care of like the health of the actors and stuff or the crew, we have one guy. He's got, you know, a full medical bag. Whenever we have big stunts, he comes in with his you know,
he's first aid trained.
gauze and first aid and
The
stuff.
laws are different in terms of what they can do.
I would
Well,
imagine.
the union rules, they have to do both. You can't have, whatever, so you have no choice but to do first aid craft service.
He's actually a trauma paramedic, is right.
Oh, yeah.
Cliff, you had your chance.
And he's very good.
He's rad.
Yeah.
And we'll have,
For the US, because I can't see for the US.
right.
Right.
We also have a doctor, Dr. Lim, who does a lot of film sets. He's a physician, so he'll come by.
Yeah, he'll come by. If it's something that needs medical attention, we'll have a guy on the set.
Actually, funny enough, one time he came by because I had a massive zit. Honest to God, I had a massive zit that was literally shadowing my. This is kind of embarrassing, but
Too late now.
ask Misha to tell you after
You can't get with cortisone.
Yes, yeah.
Shot cortisone.
It was causing a shadow on my face. And
I thought he was getting Botox, and I wanted.
well, we went to pop it, and it wouldn't pop. There was like a little nodule. Crop of skin.
Again, things that we deal with because we spend money.
See, that's the point. We usually get used to like, when you spend 14 hours or more a day with somebody, you're like, I don't have time to wait to say this. I'm just gonna say it now.
So are you scooting your forehead?
Then I screwed the other way.
On behalf of Bardic Voice, I'm supposed to ask you about your metronome story.
Yes, yes, Guy B.
Guy B has.
Oh, I don't know. That's probably best left for the gag reel.
Oh, you know what? You are gonna see on the gag reel.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they will.
It's something that can't be explained. It's kind of a physical explanation.
It is.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
There was a question over here. Yes, hi. Yeah.
Jensen, are you in the deal with the Breeders' Club again this year?
Don't plan on it.
You did not enjoy yourself?
We did. It's just sometimes it's kind of one of those things where if we're available and it's happening, then we win. But it's not something we like, you know, plan to do. Well, yeah, I mean I like it, but it's not. I'm not a big gambler, so it's I go to just kind of enjoy the races. But that was something that her agent was actually going and had like a box and stuff, and was like, hey, you guys ought to come. They're like, yeah, we're available, let's go. So it's kind of one of those things.
I thought you were gonna ask a much more exciting question. When I heard breeder, I was like, man, she's bold. So, are you and Daniil gonna breed? Jensen, what about Daniil? Are you gonna breed her? That's the question I had. Have you ever read, there are funny things you can look online where it's like, it's mind games. So it'll be a sentence and it'll say, isn't it funny when you realize that you didn't read the word that you're supposed to before the sentence? And then you go back and you actually read it slowly and the wording is completely different. Like they've switched letters around so your brain hears what it wants to hear. It's also strange, but anyways, anybody else? Sorry, way in the back.
Hi, on the last episode of Supernatural, Ian had all the bees floating around his face. He decided that they were fake.
They were pretty obviously fake, right? And then they were kind of contained right into my face. Yes, I read that and I was like,
What was the comment? I'm sorry.
what?
The bees in the face was.
Yeah, the bees in the face in the last.
Was he excited that they were,
Was I excited that they
animated?
were fake? That they were the CG? And obviously, yes, I was very happy to
However,
have actual bees swarming around my face.
On the flip side, it's really, I mean, like, you can do a lot of acting stuff, and great actor or not, it's really difficult to act like there are bees in your face. I mean, you're like, it just looks weird.
Did you see it? Did you?
It looks good. I mean, I saw the very.
They actually had everyone spit
Yeah,
one out.
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, oh, that's cool. Clippy and I saw it up in Abington, actually. Just the other day. But yeah, I saw that. Because he was just, so it's difficult. Luckily he did something, because otherwise you just stand there going.
Yeah, but yes, after season 1, Bugs, when we did actually have 60,000 bees with stingers in a room that was much about the size of the stage, I was
Did you get
happy.
stung on the side?
I got stung just in the lower back and on the thigh. Yeah.
I got stung in the butt, so.
Yeah.
Yep, got it. All right.
That was one of my most, like, I wish I had a camera. When they told us, they were like, okay, look, they're docile bees. Like they're not going to sting you unless you're aggressive towards them. So as long as you're
drone bees, don't worry.
they're drone bees. They'll be fine. They won't harm you. And it's you and I kind of looked at each other like, when they say action,
We're swatting
begin
him.
to freak out. And the bee wrangler just looked at us and goes, oh. And turned and walked away. We're like, what?
Also, everything's so perfect fine. No, they're drone bees. They don't get agitated. But then you do take one, they release.
I've got a flamethrower that I'm actually killing these bees
Yes,
with.
and they're vacuuming the bees to put them back into the place before they release them again. So it's like a really light vacuum. But they're getting pissed off. I was flying around, I got vacuumed, and I'm flying around here. They're swatting at it, and finally the guy's like, they're starting to get a little upset. Really? What I love is he's an animal wrangler. Like, God love him, but he's not an actor. He's like, well, guys, just guide them away. Like, just do this. He's like, if there's one wrong, just simply guide it. Guide the bees? Like,
Guide you.
like Sam and Nina.
But of course, just when Jared and I were like, wait a minute, we're really getting screwed here. I protest. Kim Anders goes, all right, somebody grab me an apple box, and walks into the set where everybody else has full bee outfits on except for us. He walks in shorts and a t-shirt, sits down with a handheld monitor in the middle of the bees, and he's like, all right, if you're gonna go through it, I'm gonna go through it. Let's roll camera. And then both Jared and I are like, well, now we don't have anything.
Everybody else is in the suits, like at the end of E.T., where like you can barely see the abyss. Are you scuba diving, or are you like rolling camera? Massive wetsuits.
All right, they're pulling us off here, guys. Thank you so much. I have a quick question. How many people new to convention, or to this convention, do we have here? That's Very cool. It's always nice to see new faces. And
No, they didn't tell me before I started doing the
So-
butt thing that
All right, well, I hope you enjoy the weekend, and we've got a little bit more for you, so we'll see you a bit later. Thank you.
See you later.